Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bond Voyage podcast, where we bond about anything interesting, anything fun, whatever it is. Today, we are talking about Fully Cooley, and my guest today is Steven.
Hi,
Hi,
hello.
Steven.
Hi, what's up? I'm excited to talk about Fully Cooley with you.
Nice. Before we get to the main questions, how do you got into Fully Cooley?
How did I get into Fully Cooley? I guess it all started uh on a summer moonlit night, and I was watching Toonami way past my bedtime. I think it was like at 1 a.m. and it was just playing, the first episode, the dub, and from then on I was hooked instantly. They were only playing like Fully Cooley for the next like 6 weeks, and after like episode one, I just got completely hooked, and I just always was like, I want to catch the next one. I want to catch the next one. And mind you, I don't think this is the first time it was airing. They probably had re-aired this like for the third or fourth time. I think this was back in like 2013, 2014. Um, but yeah, it caught me so off guard in a good way, and just the short episode span, 6 episodes. That's what was like, you could just binge this in a day, and uh, the story it's telling, the many questions that it like leaves you hanging on, is like what always keeps me coming back to it. But what about you, man? How did you find out about Fully Cooley, and what got you into it?
So unofficially, it was through one time I was visiting my cousin, like in 2012-ish, I think. I believe this was like the second time because later on I did like research like a few years back, but pretty much around this time, I believe it was like the second or third time they were re-airing Fully Cooley, like the original. I just only saw like a little ad for it, and then I didn't get to see it till I was in high school in 2016, 2017, I think. I binged it all on YouTube, and I saw the dub as well. And I think the reason why I jumped into it was because of a glass reflection video, and glass reflection is like this one guy who does like anime reviews
I think I
and
have
stuff
heard
like
of
that.
them. Yeah.
So I think it was like a video of his like talking about like a little bit about like the show, but also like about Toonami. I'm like, okay, I want to check this out. It's not too long. And I got hooked with the soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack fucking rocks, dude.
It's so great.
It is so great. But yeah, um, other than that, I know you. Let's fully delve into this episode, right? It's just all fully cooly, man.
Right, let's get to the first question.
First
Why do you think
question.
ooh,
Sorry
why do
about
you
that.
think nah, you're good, you're good. Why do you think Fooly Cooly became so popular?
Do you want to answer this first, or do you want me to go?
Either way works.
Um, well, it's your show. I want to hand it off to you. So, by all means, take the soapbox, man.
Alright. Um, I feel because it was like the really weird stuff that happens into it, but also like how fun and wacky it is, especially like for like early 2000s, late era. And with Adult Swim, like around the time like that was new, uh, and that was starting to become popular. I felt like that Adult Swim airing this made it become recognized, and then the re-airings kind of helped it a lot more.
I think so too, and well, I guess to kind of put my slice of the cake here is that I think why it became so popular is because it drew in such like a niche crowd. I don't know how big that niche crowd was or is still to this day, but because of that, you know there were these fans who were like, they also didn't know what the hell was going on, and they liked it so much, and they just started picking at its story and its themes and stuff, and um I also think the soundtrack was probably, like, a big player in it, and also just, like, the I guess the animation, because sometimes it whacks the fuck out, it goes, like, all over the place, um, and I guess that's the whole entire vibe of it is why so many people are drawn to it because it's so bizarre, it's, like, so, like, it doesn't, like, fit anywhere, um, in, like, other anime that was probably out at that time or came out prior and stuff. So yeah, it was just a niche crowd that I believe was made it became popular. And I get yeah, and I kind of bouncing back to your like point. It does. The dub was pretty well received. I believe. I if you didn't know, like the dub had like so much. They changed so much about its jokes because they had to like localize it. A lot of the jokes Japan don't fly here because we don't understand the culture over there. It's like culture clash, but they I think they did a pretty good job for when did it come out? Like 2001, 2000, somewhere 2000s, right? Please correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I think Fully Cooley aired like the original was like 1999 to 2000, but I think the dub didn't air until 2001.
Right, yeah. Um, and that was like, you know, at that time, like, fucking, I guess dubbing was like, I wouldn't say, well, I mean, it kind of was low effort, but, uh, strangely enough, Fully Cooley kind of really was a little bit ahead of its time with how much, like, um, energy was putting itself into. I think, it's right up there with, I guess, like, the Ghost Stories dub. If you've ever seen or heard that one. Um, but, it's up there, and I like it. I don't think I've watched the dub more than I've ever, like, watched the sub, to be honest with you.
Honestly, same. I remember like people because I think back when they were debuting al not alternative, it was wait, it was alternative. So they did a brief airing of one episode progressive and alternative for like April Fools, and it was the sub. And
I remember that.
I don't think anyone talked about it until the dub actually came out.
Yeah, I don't yeah, I remember that when they did that for April Fools and stuff. It was a weird April Fools joke, but it's Adult Swim, so it's like, what were they throwing at us during April Fools? Crazy stuff.
I mean, we could have gotten the room again, but by
I don't.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau the room. I wanted to get more of those like those early like 3 a.m., 1 a 2 a.m. type of like they're not like shows. They're like these specifically made for like Adult Swim kind of like I'm talking like when I mean like Adult Swim made for TV like kind of short film, it's pretty fucking like I'd have to say it's probably like just as whacked out as like Fully Cooley. Like it makes no fucking sense. It comes at you at an hour of the night, the day where like you're like so like you're not paying the fucking you probably have the TV on for noise or something. Um but
Oh,
I'm
the
getting a little off.
infomercials, right?
They're kind of like infomercial. There was one, if I'm gonna name a specific example, there's one called camera footage of a bear or something along those lines, and it's so weird because it starts out like this little fun infomercial with like the family and the mom, and the mom's trying to like something about like I think it was like laundry detergent or something, and like just progressively it just gets so fucked up, it gets so weird, like the kids are dying, the dad's eyes are fucking bleeding out and shit, like I don't know, it gets so fucking weird. But going off topic, yeah, it's the dub is just it's amazing. It's fantastic. I love Kari Walgren as Haruko, and I always will love her as Haruko. Um,
I
yeah,
feel I feel like she's what Steve Blum is to Spike Spiegel,
yes, absolutely.
which is kind of interesting because, well, more like a coincidence because, well, both Cowboy Bebop and Fully Cooley were both aired on Adult Swim and Toonami.
Yeah, yeah, they're recognizable for their time. I like that. Um, shall we like move on to the next question?
The next question,
Next question.
uh, Which is your favorite Fully Cooley moment?
My favorite fully. I want to take the reins on this one. Okay, so my favorite fully cooley moment. Uh, it has to be. Oh man. Okay, when you say like favorite fully cooley moment, do you just mean like overall, or do you want to pick one from each? Like from classic to alternative to progressive. Do we talk about shoegaze and grunge here? Because I don't.
Yeah, we do. We
We
can.
talk
Yeah.
about shoegaze and grunge. Okay. Um, if I'm going down the list, with fully cooley classic, it has to be like from episode 6, fully climax, where it's like the big fight between Haruko and Naota, or Naota when he gets Adamus's power. Because I think it's amazing. It's a great. I mean, it's a great climax. Um, from progressive, I'm gonna have to say again the final. I guess what is it? Was it a final battle, or was it like the second to last episode? I don't know. When Miss uh cat headphones girl turns into a robot and like fights, or not, she just turns into a robot, she like has the powers of a robot, or some shit like that, and she like is trying to like kick Haruko's ass or some shit. um and then from alternative, I think it was the second or first episode where Haruko's fighting that like really that like big robot head with like the prehensile hair and stuff, and it's just like going all over the place, and she's dodging, she's whacking on her guitar and all this stuff. Um, Fully Cooley, Shoegaze. Shoegaze was the one with like it had like no Haruko in it, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That one, I guess just any moment with like adult Kana from Alternative, because that was like that's the only thing that's bridging together like um Shoegaze and Alternative. Um, so I guess that there's no real favorite moment there. It's just several from shoegaze because adult kana. Um, and then grunge. I don't. It's really hard to say because grunge is like I don't know. If you pause it, it looks great, but when it moves, it's kind of janky every now and then. It's like I get what you're trying to do, like 3D CG. You're trying. It's kind of like how they did the Berserk adaptation, where it's like in CG. It looks kind of weird. But
Oh
the
yeah.
Berserk CG one is like it looks weird all around, paused or playing. Shoegaze at least tries to make an attempt at stylizing the characters. Um, I don't know, grunge. I'm gonna have to say like the ending where was it the girl they gave the ticket to and she got to go to like fucking
Yeah.
Mars or something? Yeah.
Yeah, she went to Mars.
Yeah, that whole ending shot where she's like where Haruko's just on the medical mechanica plant, like looking up to space, or was she on the medical mechanica, or was she on the ship? I can't remember. She's looking up to space, and Earth is like right in the background, and it's like this nice little like forced perspective shot. But yeah, that's mine. Uh, what about yours, man?
For Fully Cooley Classic is the same thing like you mentioned, the climax between Naota and Haruko. That fight was like pretty fun. Uh for Progressive, I my second favorite moment was the one you mentioned with the climax, the three-way fight between uh was well, Headphones Girl, Haruko's clone, I think it was, because it was kind of implied that it was like a clone or something, and then Haruko
Yeah,
herself.
it's sort of like it's sort of like it's two halves of Haruko, like because there's one half that's like from what I can infer is like her serious half. The other is like obviously the more brash and like manic side of her. At least that's what I get from what I remember like putting together.
But hmm, but yeah, like that's my second favorite. But like my main favorite is like the random amusement park just coming to life and fighting medical
Yeah,
mechanica. It's like
yeah,
I'm like, yep, that's definitely fully coolly. Uh Alternative, I think was like the random um where she just wins like the what was it? Was it like a beauty competition or something?
It was a fashion show, I think. I think that's
She's
what you're
just like
talking about.
yeah, it was a fashion show where she just randomly wins. It's like, oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense, I guess. Um, for grunge, I would say the fight between the two factions,
Oh,
like
the like the mafia, yakuza, and the rock people.
yeah, Ben Grimm
I
people.
was
Well,
I was about to say like these guys are literally just like Ben Grimm's, dude. They're like the things.
apparently they were based on the thing,
That's
which
fucking
is
weird.
I
I don't
wonder
know,
how
man.
I wonder what Marvel would have said knowing that that design is familiar.
I mean, it probably falls under the category of like MF Doom, where like it's not technically like Victor Von Doom. It just looks like him. Um, Parody law can't protect you, or it's not parody law. It's just like it's like saying like, oh, this character is not Donald Duck. This is just a duck that looks like Donald Duck. It's not Donald Duck though. It's fucking weird.
And as for
Did I'm
oh,
sorry. Go on.
and as for shoegaze, I would say anything with the main two characters because I really like that dynamic relationship they have.
Harumi and I forgot the boy's name. I just remember Harumi because Harumi just to me feels like a it feels like an alternate timeline Haruko where like she didn't go and be like a fucking like a delinquent space pirate, whatever, alien extraordinaire ruins and fixes people's lives in the process.
That's a
She
that's that's actually a good theory.
That's a good theory. Yeah, I've been keeping that one in the chamber for like the longest time. I just needed a place to I just needed a place to fire it off at. Um it's yeah, I'll probably go more into depth later when we hit some uh like tangent about that later down the line.
Yeah.
Um so yeah. Let's move on then.
Question three.
Yeah.
Which is the
Three.
most WTF weirdest moment? Like,
Most what the fuck weirdest moment of the show. I have a
yeah.
few, but there's one that really sticks out to me. But do you want to go first?
I for me it would be I think it was like in classic where it was like with the dad
I think I know where this is going. Is it with
where
like the
like
dad and he's like a fucking husk, right? He's like and he puts him in the hot tub or something?
I, oh wait, hold up.
No. Or is it
No,
with
no.
cuz no, I'm not.
Maybe I don't hmm. It was
Does
in
it
the
have
same
any
episode. What?
No, I was just
I
gonna
think
say, does it anything to do with like Haruko and Naota's dad being like weird or some shit?
yes, every single yeah.
Okay, that's
Like
fair.
I'm like, huh? What's going on
There's some
here?
like, yeah, it there's like weird, and I don't mean to be so crass, but there's like a lot of weird like sexual tension between them. It's not even sexual tension. It's just like foreplay or something like that. I don't know. It's so like it's like how women would just like they tease a guy around like that. But I digress. I'm thinking a little too far into it. Um, for me, the most like what the fuck moment, and I remember like my eyes were so glued to the TV when I saw it was I think it was in episode oh boy, fuck the baseball one. I think that one's like the fourth episode. Am I? Yeah, fourth episode. Um, where it's like the baseball one, and there's a moment where like Naota comes home and he's like, "Dad, where are you? Dad, where are you?" And then his like he finds his dad, a fucking husk. Like his dad is like rich. His dad almost looks like charred remains of like a guy, right? And he's like freaking the fuck out, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And it's that scene is so confusing to me because I'm like, how the fuck did he end up like that? Was this Haruko's doing? What did he do to him? And then all that fixes it is like, um, like he puts his dad some charred remains in like a hot bath, and suddenly like, oh, he's like reinvigorated or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but that was weird. Also that, and like I think a scene later it becomes like really trippy. Haruko comes out of his dad's mouth. I don't mean that in like the weirdest way possible. I just it's in the anime. Fucking right there.
I forgot that scene.
If I
Ooh,
it's so weird. I'm not, oh my god. If people need a visual reference, oh my god. I don't know how like what you can do about it, but if I could say something along the lines of like, editor, put a 5-second clip of what I'm talking about on the screen, I would do that, but I don't know how this is going to work. Anyways, that's my what the fuck moment. Um oh boy. Okay, so we could move on here a little bit. Uh I want to ask this next question. Next question. Number 4, which is your favorite Fully Cooley sequel? So we're excluding Fully Classic.
I would say shoegaze.
Shoegaze?
Yes.
Honestly, very interesting choice because like that's, I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. In fact, I don't hear a lot of people like that one.
Really?
Yeah, they just think it was like, well, to be fair, like people would rather choose shoegaze over grunge because they think grunge is like below shoegaze, because at least shoegaze has some like sort of, it has some sort of like sentiment to it, at least in terms of like the quality, because shoegaze is literally just a retelling of fully, at least everybody can unanimously agree. I agree that fully grunge is a retelling of classic, just with like a different kid and like Ben Grimm. um but
And it
yeah,
might be
I
a prequel too.
it might be, yeah, actually, yeah, it might be a prequel. Actually, I heard Alternative's a prequel to Fully Classic. Um, but
Interesting.
that's just, yeah. I know some guy was like, the producer said so, and be like, I will take that with a grain of salt because I'll give me your source and I'll believe you. Um, for me, I think Progressive has to be my favorite sequel. Just because like we had it to me anyways, it felt like a true sequel, like beyond uh like alternative and fully like classic. Um, and it introduced like two completely new characters, and they were like a lot older, and there was like a lot going on, as with every fully cooley show. Um, but yeah, that's just me.
Interesting. Ooh, I got something to say about progressive, but that'll be for like the next question.
Okay.
But yeah, as for shoegaze, I do enjoy shoegaze because it's its own thing, and it does feel like a sequel. Well, it technically is a sequel because it does take place after alternative, but it feels like it's a, in a way, like the episodes feel like it's like the last one, which in real life they did announce that shoegaze was like the final uh entry in the series.
The final arc in the whole series.
Yeah. And I feel like it was a really satisfying way to like come full circle in a way,
Yeah,
especially with the ending.
right. Um, it's so strange to me though that they like they're dealing with like, what was it, like fucking ghosts or something in that one?
It was like weird ghost energy, some type of alien going on, alternate.
Alien, ghost, interdimensional beeswax.
Yeah,
Okay, that's interesting. Because I hardly, I don't know. For me, I hardly remember that one a bit. Also, that, and it feels weird that we only ever got like 3 episodes. Literally the half of like the usual like 6 episode deal we would get. So it's like, man, really is a limited series when it's just 3 episodes. They could have just made that shit like, they could have made all 3 of those episodes like an hour long. I would have been more satisfied. Give us more story.
agreed.
Yeah.
They
Um,
were they were probably like, yeah, we got the budget to make two instead of two. Let's just split like one season into two different seasons.
or more like let's split like we have the budget to do like a whole like 6 episodes, but let's just split it to like 3 episodes is its own thing and 3 episodes it's another own thing, so that we have like two technically separate like fully coolly entries. Um, I'm just surprised they didn't just give us like a full fucking like give us I don't know, give us more shoegaze, like more of that story, but like I don't know, give me something that connects like the previous entries with that one, because like there was literally the only connection we had was adult Kana. Where's Haruko? Did she like what happened to her? I don't know. Um, so yeah, I know you said you had something to say about progressive, and this next question here, you know, you want to say something about that? So you take it away. Name off the next one, man.
Next question is, which is your least favorite Fully Cooley sequel?
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna let you go first because I want to hear what you think of progressive.
Okay, so Progressive, I didn't enjoy. Probably the problem was like I saw some videos of like how people were kind of disappointed with Progressive. However, I'm like, okay, I know some people don't enjoy it, so I'm gonna go with an open mind. And I don't know, I feel like there's like a lot of plot threads that they kind of like mention throughout like the first three-ish episodes, and like a lot of it does not get any answers or resolved.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, the animation for Progressive is really neat. I do enjoy it, especially like the final few episodes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like the first half kind of affected my enjoyment for the rest of it.
Like, what do you
And
mean?
because usually, I don't know if it's me, but it felt like it was really slow. Like, not it felt like a slow burn, but like not a fun slow burn. It was like, okay, we gotta wait till whenever this happens.
It felt pretty mandatory that we didn't get. Yeah, okay, I kind of get where you're coming from. It felt pretty mandatory that we had to watch through like the first episode, like the first 23 or 4 minutes, just so that we get like a lick of like fucking to finally see Haruko, because we get introduced to the kid, we get introduced to both the kids, but we don't fucking see her till like way later down the line. Even if it's right, am I? Because if I'm misremembering, because I haven't watched Progressive in a fucking moment. Um, because isn't she just like the teacher? But then it's revealed like, oh, it's just her in disguise. Like it's Haruko, you know. Because all we follow is like Julia, right? Julia Jinyu.
Yeah,
Um, and we're supposed to be like, where the fuck is Haruko? Who the hell is this? Is this our new Haruko? Like, and so we're asking these questions, and we're like, ah, fuck. Um, but I mean, I get that. I understand that it really feels like a mandatory slow burn and not the fun kind. Um, I think if you're are you done with answering your bit, or do you have more to say?
uh, I felt like it was like the middle chapter of what would be a I don't know, I felt like it needed like a little bit more. I felt like it wasn't I, I feel bad for the people who waited and then they were disappointed. That's how I kind of feel about Progressive.
Oh, damn. I mean, to their own, I suppose.
Like it's not terrible. Like I still had fun with it, but like I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess it just be like that sometimes. Um, for me, and I want to be like clear and quick and concise to the point. My least favorite fully Cooley sequel has to be Shoegaze. I mean, like I know I did say
Um,
like, oh, it's interesting how they did the CG thing, but it's like it looks janky at times. Also, I'm not a big fan of like the yeah, I'm just not a big fan of how they fucking move sometimes. They feel so slow. Like they really just were like pouring like I feel like they poured the most amount of like budget into uh fucking thing, and it's like I don't know. Fuck. I'm trying to. Actually, wait. I might retract a bit. I did. What did I say right now? I said fucking. I said shoegaze, or did I say
You say
grunge?
shoegaze.
Shoegaze. Okay, I'm gonna retract that. Never mind. Because I did think, I did, because I wanted to say some more better things about shoegaze. Uh, because of the next question, and I have something to add upon that, which I said earlier. Um, no, I'm gonna retract all that. Grunge, I don't like. I don't like the way it looks. It's. I mean, it's interesting that they gave Haruko like this like reddish orange hair and it looks pretty on her, but uh, it's just it looks fucking weird. They're really trying to emulate all the 2D stuff on like a 3D character, and it's like it's possible you can be like stylistically like um you know artistic with a 3D model, but like it doesn't it I don't know what the fuck was going on in production, but it really just seemed like they probably were crunched on time or something, or weren't given enough like resources, because it's like like it just doesn't feel right to me. Also, the fact that it's literally just a retelling of Fully Classic, just a different kids, um, and it's like I don't know. Also the fact that it's like our main protagonist kid is literally Naota with the dad and everything, and I mean minus the grandpa and all his other well his schoolmate friends, or like his school friends are there. They're not the same, but they're there. Um, and yeah, also 3 episodes. I think Shoegaze, in a sense, did a little bit better with 3 episodes than Grunge. So yeah, other than other than a sometimes great looking Haruko model, that's all I could give it. I can't say it's my. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's my favorite. It really isn't. I don't like it.
I feel yeah, because I would rank that one grunge my second least favorite too.
Hmm.
Almost for the same reasons.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh Especially the ending with Ben Grimm's character. I'm like, oh, okay, that was a little anticlimactic.
Right. Yeah, man. I don't know what the hell was going on with the writing team, or why they were. Why are you trying to tell a story in? Well, if you're gonna tell a story in 3 episodes, then do it in 3 acts. Don't shift around so much, because it's like we each episode it literally focus on three of those kids, and it's like couldn't we have got to know them in the beginning, and then we can go with their fucking tale here. Also, like fuck, it's weird because it does this thing where it's like the not plot device, but it's like a storytelling device where each each episode, each story, like at least the first 2 episodes kind of lead into like what is going to happen in the end. And then like by the third episode we finally get to see how all of that converges to like the end and stuff, and then it's like then you get like a really like rushed you get a really rushed climax, and it's like what the fuck, man, like I don't get it. Why, like you had all this you could have had all this build up, but you didn't.
Yeah, it's uh, grunge, such a weird entry.
Grunge should have been something else. Grunge should have just been those 3 episodes of Grunge should have just been like connected to Shoegaze. Like Shoegaze should have had the 6 episode deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Uh, so the next question. You want to read it off for us?
yeah, I would. Which is your favorite Fooly Cooly character?
Haruko. Haruko all the way. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
I guess that settles it.
definitely. That settles it.
Yeah, she's
I
I was gonna say she's the star of the show and she steals it every time.
I even cosplayed her once. Well,
That's
tried.
I think you did a pretty good cosplay for her. And I've wanted to cosplay her as well. I just didn't know how to go about it because I'm like, what would a male Haruko look like? Would it be like the same kind of like? Would it be just like a manlier version of her? Would it be like, oh, he has a uh fucking stubble or some shit? Is he like 6 foot? Is he built well? I don't know. Or do you
I
just wear the
definitely,
jacket and the wig and call it a day?
I just wore a shirt and a wig.
God, fuck. I would have done it. I would have tried to put my own spin to it. I have her jacket. You know what I'm talking about. That like
Yeah, I know.
limited edition like fully colored jacket they only sold like once and like never again. And it was her jacket from Progressive too. Um I still have it and it's still like I have it like wrapped in not wrapped in plastic, but I have it like the a protective little plastic layer over it so that it doesn't like fuck up over time.
Such a
Um
cool jacket.
it is I fucking it has the what is it? The Atomisk symbol, like where you would you know how you would see where like the tag or like the sizes, like it's a kind of embroidered into the inside of the jacket. It's got like a very small but like noticeable Atomisk symbol, and it's so fucking sick. Okay, so next question here. I'm gonna read it off. Thoughts on about how Fully Cooley might be a multiverse story and how the timeline chrono fuck chronology or fuck I'm mispronouncing. Could you just read it for me, please? Because I'm
I
fucking
got you.
I'm fucking up over here.
That's fine. That's fine. Chronology is a bit messy.
He's a bit messy. Thank you for that. Okay, so I know I said earlier that shoegaze with the character Harumi feels to me, anyways, like an alternate timeline Haruko, where she just kind of, she I don't know, she still has the the uh the traits of like who she's supposed to be. She's still very brash. She's still like does shit without thinking. But I feel like Harumi is a version of Haruko, albeit either different timeline or multiverse variant, where she just kind of she just grew up with a mom, dad, and probably never ran away from home, never went to go explore the cosmos or some shit, get uh she didn't get romantically and like entangled like with this complicated relationship with Atomisk and stuff. She just hung out with her childhood best friend and went to go find the what is it, alien interdimensional ghosts or some shit like that. I don't know, man. I keep getting that wrong. But I do kind of think like in a way like at least the way I have kind of pieced it together is that progressive, alternative, and classic are in their own like chronological order where it goes. Alternative is the prequel, classic is the present, and then the sequel is progressive. I don't know where I would fit like grunge, shoegaze, and shit, but like I think those take place in their like own separate fucking timeline because like I've said before, grunge is just a retelling of classic, and shoegaze just feels like its own thing, but it kind of has the connection of alternative. I don't know. Yeah, it's like a it's that's what I put it to me, and it's a bit messy because then you probably are asking like, well, wait a minute, why is adult Kana in shoegaze? I'm like, well, I don't know because I don't have all the answers. Maybe again, this is a fucking separate piece of timeline. So adult Kana went to go work for the fucking government that tracks aliens and alien type occurrences and shit, and that's what she went to go do. She yada yada. I don't know, dude.
So you're almost close, at least for what I think with the timeline. Kind of close, like how you mentioned. Uh, but here's something that's kind of interesting because in Shoegaze they show Haruko's guitar land in like the beginning, and the way altern alternative ends is that she gets like teleported to who knows what.
I remember that.
So when she gets teleported, apparently her guitar like lands into the ground at some point when she's getting teleported.
So like her
Um,
guitar uh kind of flies off and is separated from her and goes probably flies off into like some different timeline out there, multiverse uh reality, right? Or is that what I'm getting at?
yeah, and the guitar that she has in alternative and well, the next time it appears in Shoegaze is a red guitar, but progress in progressive, classic, and grunge, it's a blue guitar.
It's the Rickenbacker, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
'Cause-
from what I kind of got from all of them is that alternative and shoegaze is one timeline, progressive and classic is another timeline. But the part where it does get a little complicated is where grunge fits in because grunge is where you get the explanation of how she got the guitar and you also get the explanation of how like the guy from classic with red hair, um the agent dude, the one with the eyebrows.
Um I don't remember his name, but yeah, the big eyebrows fella.
So you get to see him in grunge and you see how he loses his eyebrows, which is part of the running gag in classic. So it does kind of like imply like, oh, uh grunge is a prequel to classic and then progressive follows up because you get to see that the family of the agent later on
Right,
in progressive.
right. I think there really is like a like the fact that it's like it's you mentioned in your question that it's a bit messy is like yeah, it is a bit messy because my you know, chronological order is so far different from yours, and I'm pretty sure there's out there people who probably claim like other, um, you know, how it's supposed to be ordered and what how it makes sense in a timeline like kind of sense.
Yeah. I do think alternative is still a prequel. It's just probably see that's the part where it does get confusing. It's like does she get teleported and that's the beginning of grunge or grunge is like its own thing?
I don't know. It really, I guess it really just depends on the person that is, yeah, it just depends on the viewer, on the however they want to put it too.
Because I think even someone mentioned like alternative happens after progressive, but uh
I think
I don't know.
those
It's so
people are
interesting.
just going off of like the release dates of those shows because it's like that's
Yeah,
kind of how it was. It's like it was what was it? I think it was it progressive was released and then alternative, or was it vice versa?
it was progressive and an alternative.
Okay,
Because I remember they originally announced it as two and three before they rename it to progressive and alternative.
yeah, I was really hyped on the when they teased all no was it alternative? They when they teased alternative. Well, actually, both of them because I remember there was like a trailer that they had. It was like a teaser for both progressive alternative, and there was the song "Star Overhead," peak track. I was pining for like, oh, please give me the official release already. Like, please get the full song out. And when it did, I could not stop playing it. It was just that good. I'd say it's probably just as good as the other songs that we've heard previously, like Ride on Shooting Star, Last Dinosaur, Little Busters. I fucking love all those songs, man.
I love those songs too.
Yeah,
I think I also saw that same trailer like 15 times in one day.
it's
So
so
how
good.
hyped I was. It was really good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get to this next question.
All right.
Will there ever be, or is there another show like Fooly Cooley?
What do you think? Taking time
Hmm.
to think about it, folks.
It is quite difficult, not gonna lie.
I if I can gauge your thought with my answer, I have to say that no, I don't think there will be or there is another show like Fully Cooley. I genuinely think that it's it's very unique on its own. The niche crowd, that carried it all the way this far, who are coincidentally fans of the Pillows as well. Um, you know, I don't know. There just ain't nothing like it. There could be things that come close, but there is like, you know, they're different because of the genre that they're like, you know, that they've set themselves on. Uh, I think two that can come close in terms of like, I guess like the kind of like the whacked out craziness, but like in their own thing, is Paranoia Agent and Surreal Experiments Lane. But those two are like psychological thriller slash horror anime, but they're pretty fucking weird and whacked out. If you want more weird and whacked out, Satoshi Kon's is Paprika is right up there with just whacked out imagery.
Oh,
Um,
that's iconic.
yeah, it is iconic. I don't think I can name anything else that comes close. I think it really Fully Cooley just really is in its in a league of its own.
I don't think there'll ever be another show like it.
You don't think
Um,
so too?
there is two shows that came out. One is the Shikenoko, the deer anime,
The deer anime?
like the wackiness side of it. That's spiritually close to it, and a Nisekoi.
Okay.
But that only the wackiness, like everything else about it. I don't think that can be replicated.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's just because of like these other anime that try to be like wacky or are wacky in that sense is that they're set in a different kind of like genre. Um, Noshkatan is like it really like hangs on its comedic kind of thing. And like I said with Paranoia Agent and Surreal Experiments Lane, those are psychological horror thriller. Um, and Fully Cooley, um, it's got comedy, it's got drama, it's got that coming of age. At least I'm speaking for like Fully Classic, anyways. Well, no, the other ones are really coming of age. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't. The coming at as for coming at age, I would say the Not even. It's not even close. It's like a different genre by itself because it's not wacky or like fully coolly. But which one was it? I was gonna say Evangelion, but that's a lie. Uh it's not Evangelion. It's not Evangelion. Calm down. Well, maybe the reboot. Nah, I'm joking. Um, I would say Eureka 7 is another one that is close, at least for the coming age side of stuff. But that's a whole different story because that's a mecha, and this one is isn't a mecha. It's something else. So, do I go to the next question?
yes. Go to the next question and go. Yeah, just hop into it. Go.
What? Favorite song from the Pillows?
Favorite song. Well, I already spoke on it. If I had to pick just one, it's got to be Last Dinosaur. I love it a lot. My older brother complains that there's like way too much symbols in it. I'm like, well, it's what makes the song, but I don't give a shit. Like it's fucking great. It's fast paced. It's cool. It's I don't know. It's just got everything it's going for it.
I feel that song is like if you ever ask anyone what is the Pillows or like a Fully Cooley song, that's like the number one song that would show up because that's like the most iconic, I think.
It's funny you say that because I genuinely think it's either a tie between Right on Shooting Star or Little Buster, because both of those are
Oh,
like
that's yeah.
they play so like close to one another, and like the like if you ever watch an episode, usually like at the very end of the episode, if like Haruka's fighting a robot, or it's like they are fighting a fucking robot or something, it's always like Little Buster starts playing, and then it's like the end of the episode, and then comes the credits, which right on Shooting Stars. So it's like I feel like both of those are like what's like Fully Coolies is like musical blueprint. It's musical like iconic like vibe to it.
For me, is Carnival, not the Kanye song, the Pillow song Carnival. But yeah, like I really like it, especially like the start with that guitar where it goes like down 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 down
Yeah,
like I love that start. Like it starts a little slow, but then it starts picking up the pace.
yeah.
Before the drop happens, I'm like, oh, I like that.
I fucking I agree with you on that. Carnival is also pretty good. Um, I think I think another one that I like that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is One Life. It's the very first song that plays at the beginning of the first episode where it's just like Mamimi and Naota are just hanging out under the bridge, and Naota starts kind of monologuing about how like nothing interesting ever happens here, and it's the song that's playing in the background.
Oh, I think I remember which one you're talking about. Well, you're right. No one talks about that one when it
No,
comes to
it's really
to
good.
pillows. Yeah.
It's really good.
That another one that reminds me of that song is Thank You My Twilight.
That one's also really good.
Like progressive, like that's probably one of the highlights, that song. And the ending song too,
Yeah,
which I don't remember the name of it, but it was
it's called Spiky Seeds.
reminds me, Spiky Seeds was a song I heard from a band called the Pillowets. And the
The
Pillowets,
Pillowettes.
yes. So the Pillowets is a band that sings the pillow songs, but they're
Oh,
like a Midwest. Yeah,
they're like a cover band.
they're like a cover band from the Midwest. Um, I think they perform at ASIN like 1 year. I just don't remember. But I might be getting confused with Anime Midwest as well because they also perform in that. Which this was Midwest before the 2019 sub, so it was when Midwest was still cool at the time. But yeah, like I remember seeing like a random video. Um, they're pretty cool. They're on YouTube. I just hope their videos are still up because it's been a long time.
Yeah, I honestly I did not know that they exist. Like I this is the first time I've ever heard of the Pillowettes. Um, that's interesting though. I have to probably check them out later.
Now, for the next question,
Oh
what
boy,
does Fooly Cooly mean?
what does
But
Fully
in the
Cooley mean?
anime,
Uh, oh boy, how can I? Oh boy, damn. I need to think about this one a bit. Do you want to take this one?
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, okay.
It's really weird because they never specifically say what it is. They always keep saying like, "Oh," I think Mimi in one episode was like, "Oh, you guys do the Fooly and the Cooly Cooly." I'm like, "What?"
You know, some people really say that it's like it's what you feel in your bones. You know, are you doing Fully Cooley right now? You do it with your hands like this. See, you know, it's a mimi type thing. It's a dreamy type thing. You know, it's a goddamn it's a kind of Cooley new modality. You know what I mean?
And in the end of the day, everyone asks, "What does Fooly Cooly mean?" Because they don't even know what Fooly Cooly is. So what is Fooly
Cooley, the
Cooly?
Fooly of the Coolie. It's I was just quoting the stupid fuck. I had to look up the fucking what Nauta's dad fucking rambles on about in that little manga scene. Yeah, no, Fully Cooley is just in the anime. It's just fucking nonsense. Um, But
Yeah.
if you want to know my actual answer, I think that's a perfect segue into the next question, though.
Yeah. Perfect segue.
Yeah. So, which is the question is, what does fully coolly? What do you think fully coolly means? Um, do you? I mean, since I'm kind of taking it on here, do you want me to? I'm gonna tell you what I think
Yeah.
it means.
Yeah.
I
Tell me, what
think.
do you think?
I think fully coolly has something to do with like growing up, maturity. And I'm only taking this from like the classic, from fully classic, because I mean, it's such a there's so many prominent themes of growing up and maturing, and there was a whole fucking episode where um Nauta's friend, God, I can't remember her name, the like the chick who's got like long black hair. Do you know who
The
I'm
one
talking
with the
about?
rush. Yeah, the one with the USSR shirt for some
Yeah,
reason.
the one with the USSR shirt for some reason. Yeah, there's a whole episode where she has to be forced to act adult because her estranged parents are, what are they? They're the fucking they're like the governor of the fucking town, or like her dad's the mayor, I think, and her mom is
Yeah.
just obviously like the lady for the mayor or whatever. Um, so she kind of has to um, put up this facade of being so mature and stuff. But in reality, she's not. She's just a kid still, and she doesn't get to have time to delve into those like uh, tendencies growing up and stuff. Also that, and just the whole thing with, and I know it's such a minute detail that doesn't matter in the long, but it appears at the very beginning and it appears at the very end with like the soda or the drink or whatever that like Naota doesn't like because it's like it's too sour. And then like after the whole journey happens of him like going through all of this, Haruko dropping very strange but meaningful knowledge in the form of taking robots out of his head or some shit like that, weapons, guitars. He comes around and he's like, you know what, I've come to like it's acquired taste. I've come to like the sour drink now because it's like, I don't. It's it's taken me this time to like fully enjoy that and just learn to try new things and stuff. Because that's kind of what growing up's all about. Is that there's like new experiences, you try new things and stuff. Um, it really is just a journey of maturity. Fully coolly that anime.
I also feel that's the same thing too. It's about growing up and also like learning how to grow up or taking your time, but like it's about figuring oneself to accept yourself and stuff like that.
Right.
And I do kind of see that a lot with the sequels because while it's about growing up with the first with classic, that's what it is, like maturing and growing up.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know about alternatives because alternatives is a little bit more different.
I think I can throw my 2 cents into that one.
Because because the hard part about it is like alternative has like an ending, but then uh shoegaze kind of like not retcons, but like it does change the perspective behind alternatives ending. But
I
yes,
think. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to
no,
kind of
no,
throw
no,
my
no,
two
no, no. I mean, like, yeah. What's your 2 cents?
my 2 cents for alternative is that it has to do with like having to kind of accept that like people grow apart, as you know from like Kana and her friends, like especially that one friend who like kind of, right, she like grows apart from them, and I think Kana is like trying to do everything in her power to keep them together. But that's kind of just how life is sometimes. Whether it's from like you've known this person for like ages now, and then suddenly like they just don't want to hang out with you anymore. um I can I That's kind of why I what I put it to. um I know there's some other, you know probably some other wildly different meaning to that anime, that they're like to alternative, but that's just me, just because like I've seen that happen in my own life before. But
Mm.
um you know, it just be like that, and it just happens, you sometimes, you might have your best friend in like 5th grade or something, and then suddenly you don't see each other for like a summer, and then now they're hanging out with like a new crowd, and they don't want to, like, that you just maybe it's not because you two hate each other. You guys just grew apart. You guys just took in different experiences and met new people, that now it's like it's kind of like that ubiquitous, like, kind of agreement that it's like it's time to go our separate ways, um naturally. Sorry if I got deep there, but yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could, especially in the context of Kana's character between alternative and shoegaze. That
Yeah.
does.
Obviously, she's gone from a teenage girl all the way to like a grown ass woman.
Yeah, who's sad? Which I love shoegaze, but oh man, what they did to Kana, I'm like, oh, they didn't have to do her like that.
Come on, man.
Why did he do this?
You're just trying to spread joy, man. Well then, I think we have one last question here, for a little discussion.
And yes, do you want to read it?
I'll let you read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Any other show or anime recommendations similar or different from Fooly Cooly?
Now, when you say that, is it just pertain to just anime, or can I recommend other, like
Oh, you
like
can
Western
recommend
anime?
shows.
Okay, all
You
right.
could definitely do this.
All right. Well, if I had to recommend anything similar to Fully Cooley, um,
Mhm.
and in the sense that it's like it's kind of whacked out in its sense, I know I previously had mentioned Satoshi Kon's Paprika. That one's pretty fucking weird and whacked out. It's a movie though, so you're gonna be sitting there for like an hour and some 20 something minutes. It's pretty good though. It's got a lot of whacked out imagery. The other two I previously mentioned were Paranoia Agent and Surreal Experiments Lane, which are, again, both psychological thriller slash horror anime. One deals with a murderer who is going around and killing people with a golden bat, and it's weird. That's all I'll say about that. The other one is very it's got a dreadful vibe to it, and like, in the sense that like every scene that you're in always feels like, please, like, fucking something crazy happen, but it doesn't. It's very prophetic with its themes of like the internet, and like how kind of like we've I honestly, it really makes more sense now, more than ever, because there are like sort of imagery and themes in Surreal Experiments Lane where people are just kind of, mindlessly, like, using their version of the internet, which is named The Wired. And it's like people get so lost in it. People tend to lose their humanity a little bit because of it, because they're just constantly using this version of the internet in the series and stuff. Very prophetic, definitely makes more it makes more sense now than ever because of like brain rot content and the iPad babies and shit. But those are shows that are like similar to it. At least I think similar to it. I can't find anything comedic. Noshkatan, maybe, if you're into watching a little uh, uh, schoolgirl with deer antlers go about her days. That kind of is similar too. Um, if I had to recommend something wildly different, has nothing to do with Fully Cooley in any way, shape, or form, um, The Big Les Show by Jared Wright, I think is pretty darn good. It's funny. You'll probably be quoting the hell out of it. I'm surprised a lot of people don't talk about it. Um, it's it's made by an Australian man, so get ready to hear a lot of Australian slang and you know all that stuff. Um, and oh boy, I'm gonna just name two more random shows. Uh, go watch uh Invincible Fight Girl, which is out right now. Probably, I don't know, by the time this recording comes out, maybe a few episodes have already come out. It is on Adult Swim. and since Adult Swim's based like that, I think they upload the episodes like I think a day or so after they aired like on their YouTube channel. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
but yeah, Invincible Fight Girl, and I guess I'm trying to think of something that is like niche here because I don't want to say like I don't want to say like a bigger name show that like everybody's familiar with. Um, if fuck, uh, you know what? We're circling it back to Australia. Bluey, pretty good. I, I guess. I fuck it, Bluey. It's fun. It's cozy. It's comfy. It's for everybody. But yeah, those are my recommendations.
Hmm. Recommendations. This is
Mm,
uh
Rubs
since you
chin
mentioned
thoughtfully.
since you mentioned since you mentioned Satoshi Kon, um I guess Perfect Blue. Nah,
No, no, no,
actually, yeah,
don't.
I
Yeah,
recommend it. I
please
recommend
do.
it, but for a different reason. It's quite dark though, so anyone
It's,
listening to this, maybe watch Fully Cooley after Perfect Blue. I don't know.
yeah, or actually, no. Watch Perfect Blue first, and then Fully Cooley, because you're gonna be completely fucked after Perfect Blue. It is psychological horror, so keep that in mind. Viewer discretion is advised.
And yeah, um, no, but like, well, since Fully Cooley originally was from Gainax before Production
Oh,
IG, um, dang, I forgot to mention that detail. Um, I would recommend anything by Gainax, but this one specifically is kind of similar to Fully Cooley. The wackiness not as much, but like the coming of age part of it. Karekano, which was directed by Hideaki Anno, who directed Evangelion. Uh, Unfortunately, Karekano is like a show that got canceled because uh stuff with Gainax at the time. But it was I recommend it. I recommend it because it's similar studio, kind of wacky too. There is kind of like a serious story going on too, but not too serious. So there's that. Uh, Now let's see anything outside of anime. Um, I would say some. I don't. This is hard because it's a lot of them, but like anything from A24, uh, that is like comedic. Because there's like a lot of funny A24 films out there. A few of them do have like a story and it's kind of wacky, like Fooly Cooly. Um, as a movie that's a fun time but has like a really good message, I would say is uh I feel like everyone kind of saw it already, but I'm still gonna recommend it. But everything, everywhere, all at once.
oh, that's a good one. It's a great one.
I don't know. I feel like that would work really well, especially with the context of this.
True.
It's a really good movie too. So like, you know. Yeah. Also, since the name is Bon Voyage, I have one bonus question to ask
Oh yeah.
you. Since Bon Voyage is kind of like a term, well, the bond being like in bonding, and then voyage as in like bon voyage, like farewell,
Yeah,
and
Bon
bond because of like
Voyage.
bonding.
Yeah.
Um, what is a song that you can recommend? What's a song that you can recommend for a bonfire or like a farewell song?
Farewell Bond. I'd have to say, hmm. Oh, Madeline by Good Kid. Please go listen to Good Kid.
Cool.
Yeah, you could either listen to the original Madeline or the they had like a second version to that song released, but it's like a duet between the lead singer and another artist. But both of those are like they're both really goated. They're nice and somber.
Mm, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That is, I think that is, yeah, that's all the questions. All
That's
right.
all the questions. That's the whole episode. You've made it
Yay,
through.
we made it through. Yay. Yippee.
Oh yeah, I
We're
can't
still,
believe it. I'm proud of you, viewer, listener. I don't know who the hell you're. I don't know where you're watching or listening to this from, but yeah. Um,
yeah.
is there any last thing I can say before I can before we end the episode off?
Yes, if you want to.
Okay. You could go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at weirdmagicpiggy. And you could also go subscribe to me on YouTube as Pixel Ham. I'm currently doing a little I Hate Fairyland comic book project. I wouldn't call it so little now, but I don't know. That's that. And yeah, hope everybody has a good day, and you keep lifting each other up, because in this world, that's what matters.
Agreed. Thank you, Steven, for being my guest.
No, you're welcome. I'm glad to have been the first guest, man. And hey, if you want me to come back on, I'm always more than welcome to, man.
I appreciate it. Yes, definitely.
Hell yeah.
And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in and farewell.
Bye.
Bye.